The party
Guy
was lame to me.
Fieri.
Fieri.
This is the fun.
Yeah.
So they're trying to track him down. Mora's at the party.
I just want to say, you are never allowed to pick the freaking theme for anything again. Okay. Albuquerque, fire truck. We're just yelling out words now? What's going on here? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so make sure to check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my co-host and sister, Vetta.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Vetta, how you doing?
Delightful.
Awesome. And on this episode, we have a special guest, and that is Brad from Canada. Brad, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How's it going, eh?
It's going, A. I love the A. It's going, you guys. On this episode, we are going to be reviewing a movie from Brad's choice, and that is Boy Kills World. Now, before we get started on this movie, we are going to ask the most important question of the night, and that is, what are you drinking? And we're going to start with our guest. Brad, what are you drinking?
Well, I've been pre-gaming since let's pull behind the curtain. It's 8:30 right about now, but I've been pre-gaming since about 3 o'clock because I am Canadian, and I am drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Nice.
And I had to go back to the beer store. Yes, we have beer stores in Canada 3 times because it's within walking distance. Don't drink and drive. So I have been hoofing it back and forth. And my local clerk says, "You're back again." I'm like, "Yeah, I got important stuff to do."
Right on. Right on. Okay, Vetta, what are you drinking?
So I have multiple drinks.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Okay,
girl.
what are you? What's your main drink?
So this drink, my daughters went to this soda food truck, which I'd never heard of. So it's like a cream soda, cherry cream soda, and I added vodka to it. And then
Nice.
this is a good old rum and coke because
Nice.
you know,
So
I don't want to run out of one.
Right on. So I was gonna mix a little both. I've been pre-gaming since 3 o'clock also because I have children.
Man.
And so my main drink that I wanted to do, I started drinking wine with dinner and everything, and then and so I'm drinking right now. I'm drinking a honey whiskey and Dr. Pepper. That's my main drink, and then I do have a glass of wine that I started, but I didn't finish it. And then just in case I finish all that, I do have a Smirnoff red, white, and berry, just in case I need.
In case anyone's wondering, please drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly, and I do not really like to get up and walk, so I got my cooler here.
Just in case I brought the whole whiskey bottle, the rest of it.
Just gonna ask if that was the honey whiskey our older brother drinks. I got some of that.
Right
I'm not gonna lie, you two are my new favorite people forever, and I have a daughter. And
yeah. Okay, you guys. So this movie, Boy is a mayhem machine who's been trained to assassinate the bloodthirsty Hilda Van Der Koy and avenge his family's murder. Guided by his sister's mischievous spirit, Boy uncovers one stunning revelation after another as he barrels towards Hilda. So let's talk about this movie, Boy Kills World. First off, just going around real quick, did you like the movie, and like what was your overall, what do you think about it? Brad, you go ahead and start first, within a sentence, what you thought about the whole movie.
What I thought about the whole movie in a sentence? Wow, this is a original take on an unoriginal concept, yet it pulls and pushes and makes it work. It has enough originality between the voiceover, which I don't think has ever really been done within this kind of concept, and just the twist at the end.
Yeah,
it is legit. It might not be the best movie I've seen this year, but it is absolutely my favorite movie I've seen this year.
right on. All right, Vetta, you go ahead. Did you like the movie, and then what you thought about it?
I loved this movie. I have texted all of my children, and I'm like, I bought it. It's on my Prime account. You need to watch it. I love the cast. I love the voiceover. I mean, the only problem I have with the voiceover is I watch Bob's Burgers and it's the same guy. So every now and then I'm like, oh, that's Bob.
Bob's Burgers or Sterling Archer
Right
Yes.
on.
I love
or
that.
Carl from Family Guy.
Yes. I love that all of these actors and actresses have crossovers. So they've all like worked with somebody else in the cast. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Right on. Yeah, no, I freaking love this movie too. I had so much fun watching it. I don't watch Bob's Burgers or Archer, so this voiceover was new for me. So yay.
You don't watch Bob's
Splendid.
Okay, so
Burgers?
real quick,
Bummer.
since we all mentioned the voiceover, can we just talk about the voiceover real quick? Like, I fucking love the voiceover. I just love how it was just like, I don't know what my regular voice sounded like, so I took on this voice from like Street Fighter or whatever. I loved it the whole fucking time. Like, it was the best.
The monotone deadpan that H. John Benjamin can pull off, as he is with Archer, with Bob's Burgers, to really kind of sit back and just appreciate what he can really do with just a simple voice of mispronouncing macarons
Right.
and the rest. And
I
I will say Bill Sarsgaard, who has had a lot of misses as of recently and a lot of hits, pulls facial expressions that fit this voiceover splendidly.
Oh, for
right
sure.
on.
Agreed.
Right on.
100%.
Yeah, by the way, I
I
did write
love,
down. Sorry,
go
but
ahead.
I just real quick, I wrote down in my notes. I love macaroons. I don't know about you guys. I love macaroons. They're delicious.
I
Okay.
love macaroons, my God. Yeah,
It's
no,
very
I'll
rare
steal them.
that these chubby cheeks have not met a dessert they don't like. So
Betta, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I loved the voiceover, and I would agree. Bill Skarsgård's faces in this whole thing, like they work together so well that I think if it would have been somebody else, I don't think it would have worked as well at all.
It's his eyes.
Yeah, I just don't think
Those
it worked.
he has
And his
very
abs.
Oh
well,
yeah, the
oh my
abs
God,
are nice.
he's doing sit-ups right now. But no, his eyes, those, I dare I say, bulbous eyes, just the curious look that he had, it fit. It fits so
Yeah,
well. And then
and
the
he's
rest,
able to keep that childlike
that's it.
look at the whole time as well. Like,
Oh, it's Arrested Development because he stopped as a child, started as a warrior, but that doesn't mean you're a man.
yeah.
Right on.
I know this because I'm totally Arrested Development. I don't know if anyone can see it. I have a variety of G.I. Joe behind me, and they're not just
They're-
for decoration when no one's watching or everybody's watching. I take them out and I play the hell out of them.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay, so this movie, right? So it takes place in this city, which I have questions real quick about this because I wrote down right off the bat, I was like, where and when does this take place? Like, I'm all like, what's going on here? Because you've got this like this city, but it's like there's plants growing on the buildings, and I'm all like, was there like a war or something? They don't explain that. It's fine though. I'm not mad about it.
It's not our world.
Yeah,
Nice.
it almost looks post-apocalyptic.
Right on.
If this is Earth 616, this is Earth 619. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Right on.
Like
Yeah.
it we have the same physics, but it is a different world.
Right on. So it's controlled by the Van Der Koy family, which I want to talk about, you guys, the Van Der Koy family, because love them.
Oh yeah.
And but they're in this city, right? And they rule it. It's the matriarch is Hilda Van Der Koy, and she has killed Boy's family, we think. And then he is taken in by the shaman, which I just want to every time the shaman was on the screen, I just want to be like, hey shaman, you know gingivitis is the leading cause of all tooth decay. But
That was gonna come up at some point.
so he gets taken in by shaman who teaches him how to fight and everything.
And blows
Well,
drugs in his face
Yeah.
all
Oh,
the time.
oh, I want to talk about the shaman and the drug part because I have thoughts on that too. But so he takes him in and he trains him to become an assassin to kill the Van Der Koys or whatever.
well, Boy requested him to do such
That's
things
true. Yeah, yeah.
because the Van Der Koy killed his sister, whom he has a very, very deep relationship with. Doesn't really know what he's getting trained for, or excuse me, knows what he's getting trained for, but doesn't know what that involves.
Hmm.
And it involves abject cruelty.
Right. Which I just
Yeah,
want to
I
say,
would have bailed out.
yeah, me too. Oh, I wrote down, okay, so can you guys, well, okay, I don't know where you guys want to go and everything, but I have questions. First off, I just love the part where he's like, I am the tiniest assassin. I am super clean and super deadly. I just love that. Like he was like doing crops and shit, and I'm all like, look at you, you little farmer
Well,
assassin.
I love that kid because he is Ryan in The Boys,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
he actually looks not so pathetic in this one.
Hmm.
Uh, I love The Boys and such, but I was never a big fan of Ryan because he always looks so sad and like comb your hair.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Well,
Yeah.
these are the young boy is played by two brothers that, as funny as it is, star in so many of the same movies.
Mm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're in The Oracle, they're in Goodbye Mother, which is a horror film. Um, God, they're in Anywhere But Here, I think. They're just,
Mm.
and they're always together and they play siblings in all of these movies as well. And they
Oh.
actually look like a younger Bill Skarsgård. Like,
Mm,
Well,
that.
the casting was amazing. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody's ever seen the shaman in previous movies, but
oh, he's
he
so good in John Wick 3.
John
So
Wick,
good. Oh,
Yeah.
The Raid Part
Oh my
2.
God, yeah, he was. Yeah,
yeah.
I love the raid. The raid is amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
when I saw him and like my eyes went more bulbous than Bill Skarsgård because it's like, oh my God, this this is going to culminate in a ridiculous fight, and I am here for it.
Yep.
Right on.
Old
Yeah, yeah.
old school ninja fan, so yeah.
Yeah. The minute you see him in any movie, you know there's going to be some good fight scenes.
Yes. And then you're like, please don't smile. Okay,
Well,
so.
he choreographed the entire thing. He's not just an actor; he is a fight choreographer, and he trained all the actors and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
he
great.
did a spectacular job. I
yeah,
love it.
he's
Yes.
amazing. He's
I
amazing.
definitely would like to talk about the fight sequences, but if you guys don't mind, could we, if you're cool with it, could we talk about the training of Boy?
Yes.
If you guys cool with it. Okay, great. So I wrote down this shit is hardcore, like Kill Bill, but with a little kid. I was like, I would not bet like you said. Like, okay, when he's burying himself alive and then eating stink bugs, which I was all like, how is this training? I don't get this part at all. I would have bailed at that. I'd be like, you want me to what? I was out when you
Well,
said eat bugs, my
Yeah.
friend.
I don't think he buried himself alive. I think he was buried.
No,
Well,
it showed
remember,
him
yeah,
reburying
when he
himself.
No,
said,
he
which,
he
which
did rebury himself.
Yeah.
Just I think him reburying himself was like just kind of show of devotion.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
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 I would have bailed out it
the shaman
for sure.
was not a high five, you done good
No.
trainer.
yeah.
Uh,
No, and we find out later why, because
of
he has his
course.
And
own issues.
yeah, and I just want to say the shaman was also a dick in other ways because he's all like, he says, I don't need food. Meanwhile, he's eating a whole chicken by himself. And I'm all like, that chicken looks fucking good, yo. And
Went
he's
to
just,
It
the
did.
nearest Boston market.
yeah, that's what I thought. I'm all like, he's running down to Tim Hortons. Meanwhile, this fucker's eating seeds and shit. And I'm all like, what is going on here? Like, I'm all like, I'd be like, listen, I don't mind not getting a whole, turkey myself, but can I have anything besides seeds? Because my water looks tasty. Okay.
Oh my
I
God,
also
that
go
was
ahead.
from Dutch. That was from
It was
Dutch.
from Dutch. Look at you. Look at
Yep.
you. Um,
You are my favorite person in the world.
okay. So when he comes out of the dirt and he's like, I failed. I'm all like, he failed? Can anybody explain how he failed? Because I was very curious about that. I'm like, he ate the bugs, he sat in the dirt underneath the dirt for a while, obviously, and I'm all in the rain. So I'm all like, how did he fail? Like, I'm just curious about, does anybody get that?
He failed because he wasn't there long enough.
Yeah.
What? I was like, I'm sorry. A day would have been, a minute would have been long enough for me. I'd have been
He
like,
probably had to be there for a week. We don't know how long he was, but
Yeah.
that is the only assumption that I failed.
right
I'm
on.
pretty
Is
sure I would have
I can
died.
only assume because he was not there long enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense out of anything.
Or he unburied himself. He clawed himself out, and maybe he was supposed to stay there until the guy felt he had earned to emerge. I don't know.
I guess so. Listen, any explanation you give me, I'll
This is
believe.
old school Sho Kosugi ninja training. Set you on fire and chill out for a while until we put you out. So there is no real rules.
Right
And
on.
maybe that's why I have such an affinity for this movie, is because it was very old school.
Right on. Yeah. Okay, and then I did write down because we were talking about the drugs and the shaman. I wrote down shaman. Drugs are not for kids. Like, I had dare in school. And then I also wrote down what drugs was he giving him? Because sharesies.
I'm pretty sure it's
Uh,
whatever people do when they like was it peyote probably? Because isn't that
Oh,
the
right.
one that can make your
Yeah, I
subconscious
wouldn't
some
I wouldn't fuck with that. No, I'm good.
some I've I'm not bragging. I've done
No, do it. Go ahead.
myriad of hallucinogenics and such, and perhaps peyote would be that, but you do not smoke it.
Hmm.
You ingest
Mm.
it and then you shit your pants, and wasn't fun.
Yeah, that's why I'm not interested.
Yeah, no, I think peyote should come with like a set of diapers, honestly, because you will piss and shit your pants. But
So that's
it
just one more
it
reason why I won't do that.
don't. I mean, in Canada, like pot is legal and so is mushrooms, so do that. But yeah, to see the hallucinogenic effects, we know why Shaman was doing it to Boy.
Right.
It
Right,
was
right, right.
to skew his view,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked.
It
It
did. It
it
did.
worked. It convinced Boy that he had to be the warrior, and
Mm-hmm.
he was. And you have like the Conan the Barbarian, you have the kickboxer, you have the blood sport, everything of him going through the training, the kicking, the punching, the like dragging wheat up hills. Very, I keep saying old school, so I apologize for that, but very
It's fine. Mhm.
primitive training. Like
Mm.
he's not there on a Peloton.
Right.
He
I did like how he Blue Lagooned that shit when he like made the little things out of bamboo, all the little
Oh, that was
training
so
shit. I
cool.
was like he even made little gauntlets. I was like, look at you
Oh
little
yeah.
DIYer and
Where'd
everything.
he get the giant stone head though
Oh my
for
God, I
him
wrote
to
that down in
push
my
up
notes. I
that
wrote that.
hill?
Where did the face rock come from? I was all like, man, I was like, he's just pushing that up the hill, which was good for him because that pineapple thing that came in handy later, which I want to
But
talk
it
about that later.
Hell
But
yeah.
my whole thing with that is he's a smart boy because when he loses, he knows he can't push it no more. He jumps out of the way and lets it roll.
You're
I'm
right.
pretty sure I would just
just
fall
just
down and it
fall and let it
rolls.
go.
Well, it would have been a short damn movie if he let it roll him over him.
I am positive it would have rolled right over me.
That's
I would
I
not have
was.
had the mental capacity to get out of the way.
Well, I'm pretty sure I would have split Thraman, or excuse me, Shaman's throat as soon as I didn't get a piece of chicken. You know.
Right on, right on.
He didn't even give him a fucking wings. Wings
Not
have
a
like an
wink. Not
ounce of meat on them.
exactly. He didn't even give him a bone to like crack it and suck the marrow out. Like
No.
nothing. I was
He
all like,
needs protein.
yeah, I
He's
loved how he was
growing.
all like, yeah, I loved how he was all like, he's like, I have to read the dictionary and stop thinking about food. And I'm all like, what? Like,
Sha
that's all I
Sha
did.
Shaman says warriors don't need friends and we don't need food.
Meanwhile, he's like eating a
Gotta
whole,
stop thinking about food.
yeah, he's like eating a whole chicken, making truffles and shit, and then
Oh
packaging up
yeah.
truffles and shit.
What happens when he's reading the dictionary and he gets to like dessert or chicken?
Macaroon.
Right,
Macaroon.
and then a few words later gets macaron.
Right, macaron.
Macaron.
Yeah.
You realize
Superior
which
to
is
macaroons.
which.
Okay, I want to ask you guys, do you guys want to talk about the fight sequences first or the Van Der Koys? Because I would like to talk about those if you guys are cool with it.
I think we need to talk about the Van Der Koys first because I'm
I
afraid when
think
we
the
get to
Van
the
Der
fight
Koys.
scene, we're gonna start talking about stuff, and
Okay.
I'm gonna pee my pants laughing at certain spots.
Okay.
So
All right. So can we let's start with the one that's not born Vanderkoy, and that is Glenn. I don't know about you guys. I loved Glenn.
I want to go for a martini with
Right.
Glenn.
He I was like he looked like he was made of plastic to me. Like, like that like those, like a Barbie doll, but like those Energizer bunny, or those Energizer commercials where it was the family, and it
Oh,
was like, but he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? I did love how he shot that man in the head, and he's like, "Here, have some candy." I'm like, "What? Fucker. A Tootsie Roll is
I
not going to fix this."
I love that actor.
I love him
Uh
too. He
Sharlto
said,
Copley, he
yeah,
was in District 9.
he's
yep.
great.
My favorite
Chippy
role he ever did
or Chappie.
was he played Howlin' Mad Murdoch in the A-Team,
Oh,
Hmm.
yes.
the movie, which was a bad movie, but he was so good in it. Now District 9 gets all it. He was in Hardcore Henry. He was in so many things. He was in that terrible Powers TV show, but he's always good. And just him being so unimpressed by the theatrics that he has to do with the speech, with the look, we all know why we're here. What the fuck are we doing here?
Owls. They've never even seen a fucking
Right.
owl.
I cried. I
It
I
was,
I watch this movie a lot, and knowing that you guys want to watch it, I watched it again this afternoon, and I was crying. I
yeah,
was crying.
my favorite line was what from him was, when he's like, you wouldn't even know how to take a shit. And he's like, you want to come with me to the toilet? And I was like, with me. I was like, that is
Yeah.
hilarious. It's like, he's just like, every time he's like, I am not a fuck puppet. And he's like, you're a fuck puppet. I was like, ooh, burn. I was like, good one. It
Well,
was so good.
he is a puppet.
He
Oh,
is a
for
puppet,
sure.
but, and I also liked when he's like, oh, my crotch is tight. The only time it should be tight is, or the only thing it should be tight is my wife's lips
Lips
around
around my
it.
crotch.
Yeah, my crotch. Yeah, I was like, that's a good one. I'm gonna use that later.
Oh, here.
So worried about his jacket. He's like, I can just rub this
Yeah,
out.
rub this out, motherfucker. That's blood.
No,
Like,
go change.
I think it's time to just throw it away.
No, he looked like a
This entire family looks
like a
like they
primped a
dressed
primped
from like,
actor, you know?
yeah, they look like they're right out of like Dick Tracy as far as their
Yes.
clothes go.
Oh,
It's
well
just
done, Dick Tracy.
ridiculous.
So
Yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah. So good. Okay, I did. Okay, so Melina, is that her name? Melina.
The wife?
Yeah, the wife. Okay.
Yes.
I again loved her. I was all like,
Boss
yeah,
ass bitch.
yeah. As soon as she showed up and she's like vaping, I'm all like, look at you. I love you so much. She's from Downton Abbey. I was like, look
Yeah.
at you've come far from Downton Abbey. And I love how she was just all like, he's like, I can remember. She's like, no, you're gonna do what mommy says. Go change and everything. And he's just
And
like,
I love how she has no problem saying, I made all of you who you are because our sister's hiding away in her bunker. So do
right,
your
yeah,
Yes.
jobs.
yeah.
Yeah, no, she ruled the roost
Oh,
and had a very domineering way about it, and that's just my flavor. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah, the whole time I'm all
that's a
like,
good thing. I like her
right.
a lot.
Yeah, she was great. I the whole time I was wondering like what is in these vape pens right now, or these vape boxes, because I was like, there's something I want to talk about later, but like she just kept she was smoking it, everybody's smoking it and everything. I have to admit, I laughed so hard when she died. Like, it was so good because she was acting all tough, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh no, no, wait, boom. And then it's just done. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Melina, you were all talking to like the last 2 seconds of your life, fucker.
Well, she was so concerned about production, she died in a very productive way.
Yeah, she did. I thought
she
it was
was so
good.
super proud of herself. She's like, cereal company to
Oh my
sponsor
God.
murder.
You know how
Which,
much time, effort it takes to do this culling?
right, which I want to talk about the calling if you guys later, but later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I liked her. I liked her a lot. But okay. Gideon. I didn't write too much down from Gideon, but I love that Gideon like wanted to write speeches and thought of himself as an artiste, but really you're
He
just
is a theater nerd.
Yeah,
That's
which
all there is to it. He was in drama club. He starred in Pirates of Penzance. He is it.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I just
No,
go ahead.
he didn't get he applied for but did not get accepted to the Growlings.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just felt like I'm all like, Gideon, I get it. You're like a gym coach. You those who can't teach. You know what I'm
Teach.
saying? And that's what I the whole time I'm just like, Gideon, I feel for you because I get it, you're done with this nonsense. But at the same time, I'm all like, sweet pea, like just wear your gaudy jewelry and your faux leather, your faux fur coats, and just do your thing. Just do your thing. Like Melina said, that's your job. Just do it. Just do it. You're good
Well,
at it.
somebody put in a position like this is your job.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone's like, no, listen, shut the fuck up. This is your end. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could do more. Well, shut up. Do this. And this is what you're going to do the rest of your life. You're going to do very well, but this is what you do,
Mm-hmm.
which is why he was very, I don't know, antithesis about the entirety of it. And he was not heartbroken when shit went down.
Right on.
Yeah. I loved his line where he says, if someone shits in the sink, that's when I stop doing the dishes. And I'm like, that's a good line to
That's a
live
great
by.
line.
Right.
I'll do the
Everyone.
dishes till someone shits in the sink. No,
Right on.
that is fantastic.
That is a good line. That is a good line. Okay. Now, I just want to say this one thing about okay, so Granny, the grandma, loved her. She was in it for very little, but I just tell you right now, the two
Evil.
scenes she was in, I was all like, I'm loving Granny. She is just like, she's just a firecracker
She's
of a
done.
psycho. Oh yeah, she's for sure done. But
She is done. She has
I
been
just
catered to her entire life, and she's like, can something happen?
right. I just it's when they were like, "Well, Granny's real." I was like, and she I can't remember what Granny said, but then at the end when she's like, "Callum," I was like, Granny is hardcore in her old age. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No, I respect
Okay.
Granny. I respect Granny.
I do want to talk about. I don't know if we want to talk about the ending, but so
I'm
June
not going to talk about,
27.
yeah, I was just going to say.
I want to just say, first off, the actress in this, she was in Death Day and Death Day
Yeah.
2.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know her name, but love her. Love so hot. So
Her
hot.
name's Jessica Roth.
Yeah, okay, look at you.
Sorry.
So okay, so I loved how she had a helmet on, and the helmet was to have a stunt person come in and do all her fight sequences for her,
Oh yeah.
because that shit was
Yeah.
hardcore. But I did write down, I was like, June 27 is hardcore. She cut that whole dude's arm off when he was just like running with that machete, and I was like, she's not fucking around like at all. And then I love how her helmet was like all Daft Punk and said like no kids and shit, and like just like kill them all or some shit like that. I can't
Oh,
remember
it
what
was
it.
fun. It
Yeah,
was
I love
fun.
I
it.
want
It
one. I was like, look at that.
it made 0 sense,
0 cents.
but this whole world didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. Like they were trying to go Darth Vader, but with a hot chick. It's like I'm sorry, you've got to fit. But I see your abs right now. This is not scary. I'm getting blood flow.
Well, I
He had nice abs too.
He did, yeah.
everybody had abs.
Yeah.
Everybody in this
Even
movie
the
is
shaman.
still doing sit-ups.
Yeah.
But just to lay out the enforcer, I love when the enforcer is a female.
Right on.
I don't know what that is. It is the juxtaposition. It is you always have back in the day, the enforcer was some big 7 foot guy. You know, he looked like a like
It's always
an
like The Rock
an
or Vin Diesel or Arnold.
looked like an
Yeah.
extra at an S&M club, and always showed up, just twisted somebody's head off and stuff. But when you show somebody that is a 5 foot fuck all wandering in, angry, you're like, this one knows how to do something.
Right.
They're not there because they're 7'5". Like, you take a step back because this person is going to kill the hell out of you.
Right on. Yeah, it was great. I love when she's like, I'd recognize this shaman's technique anywhere or something. I
I
can't remember
love
exactly.
that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great because she was just
I
like,
know the shaman's technique.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's like, where is he? And I'm all like, yeah, just tell him where the shaman is, because then this whole thing would be ended. But
never.
yeah,
Well, he can't.
right, yeah, he can't.
He
So
This is one thing that your main character is a deaf mute.
Yeah, right.
So
Which he
those
should have had the helmet. The helmet would have made
Yeah,
more
that would have
sense
been
for
super
him.
helpful.
that costs too much money. That costs too much money. And the shamans feed him stink bugs, so I don't know if he has much budget for a like
Who's
a
saving the
Tektronic
money for
helmet.
his chicken?
Yeah, well,
Right on.
he was
Which,
gonna eat those.
speaking of bugs, real quick, I just want you guys to know, I wrote at the top of my page, and I forgot to mention it earlier. I was like, Beetle Fight Club, I'm all in for. I could watch a whole show of Beetle Fight Club. I was like, this, like when they were showing it, I was like, ooh, this is fun. And then they crushed him. I was like, oh, poor
Yeah.
Javier and Gutier, whatever their names were. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I also wrote down, but this comes up later, but I'm just gonna ask you. Frosty Puffs, not interested, not interested into that shit. I'm not interested in that sugary cereal. Give
No.
me Kix or, you know, shredded wheat any day of the week.
Well,
Yeah.
I eat a cereal called Love Crunch.
Love
And Love Crunch, it is dark chocolate strawberry, probably good for you. It makes you poop. But yeah, I'm 48, so come on, help me out.
Right
I used to
on.
love grape nuts when I was a kid because our
Right on.
grandparents ate them all the time.
I don't
So
trust grape nuts.
Right on. I love grape nuts too also, but my favorite is Golden Grams. That's the sweetest cereal
Oh.
that I'll eat.
No, I don't trust
So
grape
gross.
nuts. There's no
See, I
grapes.
like
There's no grapes. There's no
Life.
nuts, so I don't
Remember
get it.
Honey Nut
Life?
Cheerios. That's
Those
a good one.
Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios and Life. That's good
Yep.
too.
I
Sorry.
love
Okay, now
Life.
it
Yep.
became
Yeah.
it's
Now I
our
want
next
We're
our
doing a
next
commercial for cereal, which
Yeah.
is
Our-
grand.
That's what our next podcast is about. Cereal. Okay. So
Let me in because
all
I'll
right.
talk all day about honey bunches of oats.
All right. Okay. So now we can talk about the matriarch, the main villain of this, who has, I swear to God, they filmed Femke Jensen for like a day. Like she was there for one day, filmed all her scenes, and then she was out and everything. But
It's expensive. She's like, I don't have
she
time
is,
for this
but I
shit.
don't know about you guys.
I love her.
I love Femke Jensen.
Oh
I'll
my
watch anything
God,
she's
Famke Janssen.
great.
She from the X-Men movies. I
Oh.
was introduced to her in
Nip Tuck.
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
honestly,
okay. That's where I saw it.
Goldeneye.
Oh,
Mm.
right on. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You're right.
She played Xenia on the top. And
Yeah.
I will watch that movie left, right, and center. I love her so much. And then she was in, oh my God,
She's in so much.
she was in
she
the
is.
movie with, I think it was called Maid with Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau.
I don't know because I don't know if
She played the stripper slash prostitute, but
she was in that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Oh.
it though.
so good, so good. And to see Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau do their thing beyond Swingers, perfect.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
she was in it and she played Jean
did see
Grey and
Swingers.
stuff. Yeah, she was great.
Right on. I do love her. Okay, so I wrote down Hilda is hardcore. Like she is killing kids and she is having her kids kill people. I was like, that's a hardcore bitch and crazy. So like I loved when she's giving her speech and then she just stops. She's like,
Lost it.
yeah, she lost. I was like, and then I love how Melina was all like, she's like, get it back. No. Why are we letting her? I can't remember what she said, but
Who gave her a gun?
Yeah. She just pulls out a gun. I loved that part because she's just all like, and you're here now. And I was like, is she gonna kill people and throw candy at them and be like, here's a lollipop. It'll fix everything.
Well, I'm pretty sure she was absolutely terrified that Shaman, her number one
Nemesis.
protagonist or whatever you want,
Well, she did think he was in the audience. That's why she was
might
shooting.
have taken her son.
Right on. Okay. I did.
Spoiler alert.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about that, the twist if you want, but I did write down that the bunker does not look like fun. I would not have stayed in the bunker. I'd have just been
No.
like, you know what?
Mhm.
Let's just get I'll just be surrounded by
I
guards.
don't know. It had a bar. I think I'd be
That is an
fine.
excellent point. That is an excellent point. And they have those.
You pretty much did have everybody at your beck and call and such, but I mean, I like to go inside and play.
Yeah, me too. I love outdoors. I love the sun and everything. So I was
Unless
like,
you're
You know what?
scared that some super assassin, as soon as you walk out the front door, is going to murder you.
true. That is
Yeah,
true. But
I
like,
don't know. The bunker, if you'd had a bar and an Xbox, I think I'd been fine. You know what? I can play Sims and go outside on Sims.
you're so fun. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and talk about the fight sequences because I love
Talk
them.
about my favorite fight scene.
Let's just okay. I know what one it is because I wrote down on my notes. I wrote down in giant all caps letters and I underlined it. Dave. We need to
Dave.
talk about Dave. Okay,
We
because that was
need to
yeah,
talk
Dave's got
about
issues.
Dave. Oh,
and all
that's
the good
Dave.
kinds.
Dave's got issues.
Yeah, and all the good kinds because I loved my favorite part was when Dave bounces back and then the voiceover goes player 2 is fucking crazy or whatnot. I was like,
Yes.
that is so yeah, it's so good. I was just like,
It
Yeah.
was so good at first. It was like round 2,
Yeah,
and
and he-
then it's just like
yeah, and he gets
fucking
that.
crazy.
Yeah, and he's like all bloody. He gets that big smile on his face and blows the smoke out. And he's just like, yeah. And I'm like, what does he have
He's
in
got
that
that
vape pen?
ridiculous inhaler and such. So
Yeah, and
I
his
don't.
glasses are off off tilter and everything.
And
And I'm
then
just like,
he rolls his head
yeah,
and just goes.
He's just
Oh, it was so
So
good.
And the thing is,
You see Boy use his training to murder a half dozen, maybe a dozen people, and then he rolls up to what could be described as like a little mousy,
yeah,
nerdish
nerd.
looking
He reminds me of
individual
that in the
as Dave.
Olympics that went
Wait, say that again. Wait, what'd you say?
do you remember from the Olympics, the gymnast on the pommel horse from US Gymnastics?
Sam.
Yes.
Oh my
He
God,
looks
that's
like
so
him.
funny. That look now that you say that, it does remind me of Sam.
Yeah, totally. No,
Yeah.
I know exactly what
Love
you're talking
Sam. I love Sam. Go Sam. Okay.
But
Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
oh, it was just another juxtaposition of this doesn't fit until it does. And when it fits so well. And Boy has never gotten into a fight.
Right.
And then he is using his training as like practical training. He does well. He kills people proper. It is a stunning display of martial arts. He does not flow through everybody. It's not a Bruce Lee movie. He gets hit, he gets punched, he gets like lacerated. And then this
He encounters a sociopath.
this boss level, like as long as we're doing like the video game,
Yeah.
Right.
Dave rolls up, and I love his partner Basho.
Yeah, Basho. Yeah.
He played in Warrior. He played
Oh my God. Yeah. That
Bruce
actor, I
Lee.
love Warrior. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm blanking on his name. Andrew Choi? But yeah.
Yes.
Hold on, I have it here. Yeah, Andrew Koy.
Andrew Choi. He was Storm
Koji?
Shadow
Andrew
in
Koji.
Koji?
It's
Yeah, it's
Koji. I don't know how you say
it's
it.
Koji.
It's
We'll just say
confusing.
Koji.
Koji,
Sounds good.
sure. Sorry, Andrew. But yeah, he was Storm Shadow in the very bad Snake Eyes movie.
Very
but I'm
bad Snake Eyes movie.
as a big G.I. Joe fan, so yes, I watched
Yeah.
it. He was the best thing of it. But this sounds so bad. I love seeing an Asian gentleman with an English accent. And it was so good.
Hey, some of my favorite comedians are Asians from England.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
me too. But that's why I love seeing it. I absolutely love seeing it.
I also so Dave, the thing I love about Dave is first off, I love when they're fighting how he goes straight for the foot and hits him in the foot because I was like, I would have been out. When you hit me in my toe, I would have been like, I'm done. My middle toe's broken. We're good. You win, Dave. Good for you. Good job.
Yeah, good on you, Dave.
And then he stuffs a whole wrench in his mouth and then like clocks him. And I'm like,
rolls it. And...
I'm like, and then Dave, like a complete zombie, puts his jaw back. And I'm all like, Dave, you're hardcore. I'd be freaking out if I was Boy. And and I'm just like, Dave is fucking crazy, but loving him.
I'd have been like Basho and been like, I got cart things to do.
That was my favorite. Yeah, you're gonna do this. You're gonna straighten shit out. I'm gonna do cart stuff.
Yeah, carts. And I love this voiceover. He's like, Basho's doing cart stuff right now or
Got
whatever.
a team. We're
Doing
on a
cart
team.
stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know if we
and
need cart stuff, but
yeah.
yeah.
And I did, but I love how Dave he took a puff give of his vape, and then he's all like, woo! And I was like, what is in that fucking inhaler? I
And
need to
he took
know.
puffs mid-fight.
Oh yeah,
Like
he did
he
pop
went,
mid fight. Yeah, and I love how he just and at one point he's running at Boy and he's flailing his arms like he can't hold him up, and then he does like a roundhouse kick. I'm like, Dave, I'm so confused right now, loving every minute of it, loving every minute, but I'm so confused what's going on with your body personally because it's like 1 minute it doesn't know what to do, and the next minute it's fully control. It's so good. I was just loving every bit of it.
reminded me of like Freddy Krueger when he had the giant arms running down the alleyway.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
like
Yeah. Yeah,
oh.
exactly. Because at one point
It looked like an anime.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point too. Because at one point he's fighting. Okay, so like it's right after he does that thing, but he's fighting Boy, and again, his like head is just like jostling like back and forth. You can't see if you see me, but then all of a sudden he just comes to focus, and then he gets punched. And I'm like, Dave, I love you so much. Like I want to see a spinoff, just a short movie about Dave, like right before this fight. Like what happened?
I want you to
We'd
write
love
it.
to see his training.
Yeah, exactly. Did you talk to the shaman before this, Dave? You're
Oh well,
fun.
player 2 is fucking crazy.
He is
Yeah.
crazy, but I just like he's just right before this fight. He's just like, I just want to fight somebody that's worth my stuff, man.
And
And
I
then
love that. I
and
I
then
love that. Like I like the female enforcer. I
yeah,
love the unassuming badass.
yeah, exactly. Because when Dave, okay, so the part that like I was just like when Dave pulls his arm off from that garbage
Got it
compactor or whatever it
caught,
was.
broke his wrist,
Yeah.
rolled, and then like wrenched his arm off so he could continue to fight. I'm like,
At this
whoa,
point, he's evil
guy.
Knievel. He's broken
Yeah,
everything in this entire
he
body in this fight.
like I'm just like, why are you still fighting? I think you
Because
should
it's
just
fun.
it is fun. It is fun. But the whole time I'm just like, man, I was like, if it was me, I'd just be like, I'm out. Hilda can live. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so now that we've talked about Dave and the whole warehouse thing and everything. Um, so he goes to the
Excuse me.
resistance and then he goes to the mansion to find
The
Hilda.
resistance of two people.
You have two people, yeah, right. They travel a large group of two, which I love that he couldn't understand. Was his name Benny?
Yeah,
You
Benny.
can understand Benny because Benny has a very powerful mustache and beard.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Which
Boy reads lips
yeah, exactly.
because he is deaf and he is mute. So everything that came out of Benny's mouth, which was a very important, came up of Tramp Stamp Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
Yeah, purple monkey dishwasher.
The whole thing wasn't even that. It's that Boy, and this again is the innocence of the child coming out, actually starts trying to envision the situation where that's exactly what Benny meant.
Yes.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, no, I loved that. So they go to the manor, right? And Boy, where he finds the macaroons, which
The plan. The
yeah,
plan.
the plan.
Which I'm sure the plan will just make sense when it happens.
You're right on. Which before we get into this fight sequence, I do want to talk about Mina, like mini Mina, but I want to talk about that after we talk about this fight sequence. Okay.
Butterfly Ninja.
I have so many. A Butter Ninja. I wrote down I love Butter Ninja. That's my favorite name.
That should be Izzy's Halloween costume.
Oh my god, she would go for it. My daughter, she would go for it. That little one. But I'm
Bryce, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it this year. I'm the Butterfly Ninja.
She wants to be Moaning Myrtle. She's got a thing about death right now. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, okay. So so they go to the manor, right? I just have to say, love the house. I was all like, why are these awesome houses always in these movies and everything? But they're rich people, I get it. I love that. I love that they set up a fake family for this dinner. Like I'm all like, how many murder attempts are happening now?
They didn't set that up.
I thought Bosco, whatever
No, Gideon set it up.
Yeah.
He wrote the whole thing.
Gideon set that up. No, he set that up as a legit play, and it was just happening at that point. And
Well,
Okay, well then I misunderstood.
he was so pleased that somebody actually murdered the fake family.
except for
Yeah.
Grandma. She's real. Granny's
Oh,
real.
Yeah,
Grandma's real
love
because she
her,
needed
love
something
her.
to do.
Yeah, I love how all the actors were like trying. He's like, sit back down, and they're just all like, okay, I'd be like, listen, Gideon, fun, but I have to go now. I got to get up early and everything. But
I love how his only criticisms are to the actor playing him. He's like,
right,
we have had this discussion
Yeah.
all the
We
time.
discussed this. Do you want to
Mhm.
do it?
Right, it's so good, so good. But I love this fight sequence because he
playful.
faces off against June 27 for the first time. And I liked how he fought somebody like that was, like with Dave, I was all like, Dave's not gonna win. Like Dave's keeps
No,
going,
Dave's
but Dave
ridiculous.
is not on the same level as him fighting style. It's just Dave is pumping
Dave's
himself
crack's
full.
gonna run out
Yeah,
eventually.
he's running on empty, which I loved every minute of it. But June 27 is actually on on the same level, even might be even better than him. So I love that. I love that she was like, they were just like going back and forth. Although, again, she was wearing her helmet, which I wish she wasn't wearing it the whole time. But I get it. The actress probably didn't know how to fight as well as her stunt double. But
Yeah,
I,
well, I do love. I'm a like because I'm Canadian. When I'm not doing this, I don't play hockey, so I do axe throwing.
right on. Yeah. You showed there was a short, which is very
Yeah,
cool. I
yeah.
would do that, but
If you see in the background right
I'd
there,
murder myself.
that is my favorite axe that I throw.
right on.
And to see someone actually like do the axe, I was like,
If you look right there,
yes.
that's my favorite Funko Pop.
Which one? What is it?
It's really not that one. That's not my favorite Funko
Well,
Pop.
no, but I'm asking, what is it?
That's
Which
my
one?
Oh, I
spirit.
pointed to a Hagrid. I pointed to Hagrid right there. But yeah, it's
Alright.
not my favorite though. It's not my favorite.
Well,
Yeah.
that right there, that is my favorite blue ninja from G.I. Joe. So whatever.
Nice. I love GI Joe too. Jinx was always my favorite. I always love the ninjas. The ninjas are the best.
Jinx is right there.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Back to us.
I love this this mansion fight. I thought that was and in all honesty,
Did you notice when he was fighting June, he ate the macaroon off the table? It went flying.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Out. I
Well,
was like, oh, he's
if you-
hardcore into the desserts.
If you have eaten nothing but stink bugs and maybe a handful of dirt and maybe a twig,
And sunflower seeds.
maybe. And I have eaten dirt and twigs. If you like, my God, macaroon is one of the perfect desserts ever.
It's great.
And
I love
to
macaroons.
see him like filling his face, and he's like,
Telling Mina to get her hands on as many as
strawberry,
possible.
Right.
lemon, pistachio. Oh, okay. Listen, I'm gonna go there. You go get all the macarons.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I love that. Yeah, it's like I don't know about you guys, but like so when I eat stuff like that, like macaroons, there's a place they only sell them in a package of 6, and it's perfect because if I didn't get that, I'd eat like 40 of
Go
them
to
in a
Costco.
row. Yeah,
Go to
right.
Costco.
So
They sell packages of 20.
Yeah,
So
see,
when
I
I
can't
was
do that.
flying
I
home-
would eat all of them in
I
one
did.
sitting.
I'm in shape. I'm round.
I had a layover in Paris, and there was a macaroon stand, and
Are you a Van Der Koy too?
and I am telling you, I was like,
Sister, dude.
they only sold them in a minimum of 12 or 48. Like either
40
12 or 48?
48.
I respect
And
that.
I was like,
that.
That's
there was
insane.
like 18 flavors, and I was like, but if you want to try all the flavors, you
You
gotta
have to buy the 48. 48, that's so many macaroons. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's
I'm
like
going to
Oreos.
Costco tomorrow.
Yeah.
macaroons.
Okay. All right. So moving on to the next fight that I want to talk about is the culling. Now, I did write down that I didn't think the culling was a bad idea. I actually thought it was a good idea. It's like the reaping,
It's
whatever.
like the Hunger Games.
Yeah,
it's
very
like the
Hunger Games.
lottery. It's like all
But
of those
Yeah,
fun
this
little
one
pick somebody up and kill them.
exactly. This one was on like a soundstage, and it was like a Winter Wonderland color.
It's the removal of the prominent enemies of the Vandercourts.
Right. So I love how I love how Frosty Puffs spot oh shit, I hit my thing. I love how Frosty Puffs
Alcohol
sponsors the
symbol.
whole yeah, alcoholism sponsors the whole thing. But I love how there's a pineapple on the stage. There's an octopus, which I didn't get that either. I like the different characters. There's an octopus, and then there's a
For all
pirate.
the sponsors from the or all of the
They're
characters,
all
Oh, are they
like
all different? I thought they were.
they're
Oh,
they're
okay.
they're they're
it's almost like
Frankenberry, they're
SpongeBob.
Count Chocula, they're
Oh, okay. I
Blueberry,
misunderstood
they're
that.
They're all their
Fruit
cereal
Brute.
mascots. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was confused because I was all like, "What does an octopus have to do with Frosty Puffs?" But I was like, "Whatever."
He's like Octo something cereal, and then
Right.
there's the
Okay.
Captain
Octomurder.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I loved this fight sequence because first off, I love how the flower girl that was in the market, she ended up being in the culling and she's totally on board with the Vanderkoys and the culling. And then she's on the thing, she's
Wanted
like,
his
Yeah,
autograph.
she was there for it. She
yeah.
was like a supporter. And then
Glenn,
they
she
just
wanted Glenn's autograph.
Yeah. And then she's like up in the business. And I was like, oh, I bet you hate the Vanderkoys now, cunt. So like I just like she was just and then she gets murdered like right away. I love that. And then I also loved the dog shot collars that they had. Like if you got too far from the
Oh,
stage, you're
it
fucking
reminded me of the Running Man.
oh my god, yeah, I love the Running
Yes.
Man. Yes, so good,
Okay.
so good.
Can I tell you guys a quick story about a
Yeah,
shot
tell
collar?
us. We love stories.
Oh,
Okay.
story time.
In the early 90s, my father bought a Rottweiler,
Right.
a like purebred, big, like fucking Rottweiler and such. So we bought shot collars
Mm-hmm.
for it, and we set up the fence and all that, and we're like, does it work? So we walked around, and there was a big unit, looked like a VCR tape back in the day. I'm really dating everybody. So, and they had two prongs on it. Not like that, not like today. So we put our thumbs on it and we walked up to the fence, and it made a noise like ding 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 ding, 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 and then to synthesize shocking. And we're walking up to it, and I'm like, it's not working. My father's like, no, it's not working. I'm like, all right. So he buggered off. He went to the bar. I'm sitting there, I'm staring at this fence, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So I buckled it around my leg, and I took the governor off it. So it would like give you a full electric chair voltage. And I buckled around my leg, and I walked up to it, and it was because the buckle was attached that it worked. And I walked up to it and went, "Dit, dit, dit, dit," and it shot electricity on my leg up to my teeth and dropped me.
Right
Dropped
on.
me. Like my leg went like straight out shot, and I like crawled away crying. Pulled this thing off, and there was two singe marks on my leg.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, okay, it works. It works. So I told my father, and I'm like, Pops, it works. It works. It works. It works. And he's like, oh, you don't. We're Canadian. So he's like, you don't know shit about fuck. I'm like, all right, do it. So my father, not to be outdone, he's like, where'd you do it? I'm like, my leg. And he's like, well, fuck, pussy. And he puts it around his neck, locks it up,
Nice.
and he said, well, I'm gonna do it like the dog does. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And he walks up, and he's like, it's not that bad. And then it turns out, and he dropped. I had to grab him by the legs and pull him back. And there's two legit singe marks. They're like,
nice.
and he's like, I can't do that to a dog. I'm like, no. Are you joking? No. So that electric fence never ever worked, but I still have I have two scars, and my father, who's not with us anymore, was buried with two singe
Oh my god,
marks.
nice.
He looked like a very large vampire.
Oh my god. It was so good. And every time I see a shot collar, I'm like,
Yeah,
Shit
right.
works. Shit works.
Shit
Shit
works.
works.
So,
Sorry,
okay.
sorry, sorry to
No, that
deviate.
was a
Sorry.
good story. It was super fun. It's super fun. I loved also like, okay, so I loved when Bosco and Benny show up. And I love my favorite thing about it was they gave him that like brass knuckles, but it was like it shot a bullet when you punched and everything. I was like, that's super fun. I want one of those.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a gun glove.
yeah, it was so cool. It was so cool. But I
And I
loved,
love how they're like, and the plan worked. You were perfect.
yeah, it was so good.
And he had no idea because Purple Monkey dishwasher. No.
Sorry, I had to cough
It,
there.
it was laid out so this it sounds so stupid. This movie shouldn't be good.
But it
Am I
is.
wrong? Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah.
This should not be a good movie. This should not be as playful as it is. This should not be as appropriate. This shouldn't give you the fuck yeah feelings that it does.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or
But
when people say, what's a movie I should see? This is the movie I would tell anyone right now.
this is
That's me. I
a
would say,
safe recommend
yeah.
for anybody who might be within the action genre. And like I said, I love The Raid. I love The Raid Part
Right.
2. I
Yeah.
love like all the Mission Impossible movies and such. But this, I don't know. This was just an anomaly that worked
Well, and it pulls
perfectly
from
for me.
so many different movies.
Well, I mean,
You
we've
know,
been making movies for 2024
yeah.
years.
But the fact that the movies that it pulls from, the writer was able to pull from those movies and make it work.
No, it plucked every
Yeah.
proper thing that it wasn't like, oh, it's like this. Oh, it's like
Yeah.
this. Oh, it's like this. Yes, it's a tried and tested theory that, shit happens, get revenge.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it is an anomaly of a movie that it should not be a good movie, but is like a great movie.
Oh, good.
Right on. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the big reveal, you guys. Okay. So the big reveal of this movie, and this leads
Pardon me?
into what was that?
I said, pardon me, I was just opening the beer.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So
Don't be sorry.
the big reveal is okay. So this all leads to the final fight sequence, and that is that boy, he makes it to the elevators to go down to the bunker. And
To
he
kill Miss Van Der Koy.
yes, exactly. So he goes and he shows Butter Ninja the picture that his sister Melanie or Mina drew,
Mina.
and they let him in, and turns out that he's actually a Van Der Koy, that he killed the shaman's family or helped kill them, and then ran off into the woods, and then the shaman, instead of killing him, decides to turn him on his family and
So, do
brainwash
you
him.
think that the shaman, because I feel like the shaman decided to turn him because death wasn't good enough, because the boy kind of had come to terms in my mind that he was going to die for what he did and he accepted it. And the shaman was like, death's not good enough.
Wow,
Well,
you went
we
way too. I didn't
go
get
ahead.
that in depth. I was just gonna say I was just like, yeah,
You didn't get that from the
No,
strangling?
you're saying that now, and I'm all like, no, that makes sense. But at the same time, when I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, that's good. I like this twisty twist. Yeah.
Well, we talked about them plucking various things from various like movies and such. Do you guys ever see Old Boy?
Yes, love Old Boy.
The original,
Yeah, the original, not the remake,
not
not
I
Josh
okay, first
Brolin,
of all,
not the
I
Josh
love the
Brolin.
Josh Brolin movie.
What?
No, it had Sharto Copley in it as well. Um I enjoyed it, but the original was such a mind fuck. And as soon as
In more ways than one.
oh god, it was awful. I'll be your bitch. I'll be your bitch. And cut your tongue out so you didn't admit that you banged your daughter. Yeah. But it was that's what it reminded me of. It was a very old boy esque that okay, we are going to turn everything on its head. Why? because I've got nothing to lose. The shaman didn't have his wife, didn't have his kid. He totally could have killed Boy. Could have killed him. Made it quick and
Mhm.
simple. But you know what? I'm bored.
Yeah.
Right on.
Let's fuck with this.
Yeah, let's
And
fuck. Not
let's
like that though.
fuck. And shaman looks like a guy that is just in for the fuck.
Well, he literally has nothing to lose at this point, so he can do
No, and you know what? It's like there's no Netflix in this thing. So let's see what happens.
Mhm.
He's sitting there like puffing opium and shut. Like so like yeah, I just that's what kind of really made this movie for me.
Right on.
It was the whole twist that yeah, guess what? Boy is
Van Der Koy.
the son
Yeah.
of the person he has to kill
Mhm.
to make the revolution work.
Yeah.
And the shaman, through the drugs, as we talked about, the training, and just the mind melt, fuck, that he did. So even Boy is a product of absolute cruelty. You want like benevolence. You want something like, oh my God, this is it's good. He's actually going to kill it. No, this is torture. So you can't feel good about feeling good about anything in this movie.
Right.
So, did you guys think at any point before the big twist that June 27 was Mina? Because that crossed my
Yeah.
mind
That
at
I
one
thought that the
point.
whole time. Like I
Yeah.
thought that the whole
I thought
time,
that too.
but I did not think that he was a Van Der Koy.
No, I thought that they shot the sister, but she survived.
Mhm.
So
She took her
Hilda
in.
decided to take her in and turn
Yeah.
her into a
Yeah,
weapon.
no, I
That
was
Like,
on board with that. I knew that, yeah, she's a Van Der Koy.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
no.
I totally got that. That's what I thought too also.
Well,
Okay.
like I said, I saw Famke Janssen in Goldeneye with the abs, and then I saw the daughter's abs. So I'm like, yeah, that's them.
Right on. Right on. So
I'm
okay,
gonna
so
watch Goldeneye after this.
right on. I have to admit I've never seen GoldenEye. I've never seen a Bond movie, so
Really?
yeah, no,
seriously?
I haven't seen any. I mean, I've seen snippets, but yeah.
Huh,
Okay. So,
that
anyways,
was
okay.
possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's
Meh.
possible, I tell you. Okay. Well, you're older than me, Vetta, so,
Oh yeah, I'm so
Oh, we're
ancient.
we're gonna throw. I was born in 1975, y'all.
I was born in 77. You're not that old.
No, I'm very old.
I was
You're 2 years
born
older than me. That's not that old.
I was born yesterday, and I still look how
Yeah,
You
he's
look
an 80.
splendid. You look splendid.
He's
Okay.
an 80.
Okay, so real quick, after the big reveal happens, okay, Hilda asks for Boy to tell her where Shaman is. She gives him like 2 seconds to think about it. I was like, yo, bitch, he has just got like a total mind fuck going on through his head, and you're like,
Oh wait,
kill him
and he's
now.
mute. And he's deaf and
Yeah,
mute.
yeah.
Like,
I'm just like,
Yeah.
she gives him 2 seconds and she's like, tell me or I'm gonna kill you. And then like 2 seconds later, she's like, kill your brother. And I'm all like, oh, yeah. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, I was it. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I love when he puts up his hand and gives her his sister the five
5
fingers
fingers.
and everything. And then she totally turns on her mother and like does the hatchet to her face. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
And grandma's all like,
Kill him. Yeah, exactly. Granny, love Granny. Okay, so then they fight their way through all these soldiers, right? Which I love.
Yeah,
I
well,
loved.
boy, and Mia decide that, you know what, Jesus Christ, you and I were the only ones that ever really had any kind of connection. You're my friend. I'm your
Mhm.
friend. Our parents were our parents. They're evil. Rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. I love my favorite part was when that one soldier guard guy brought out the Gatling gun.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just like, how are they surviving this bullshit?
Captain
And
America, baby.
they
Captain
do
Winter Soldier.
they
They Winter
use
Soldier that shit.
he uses that dude as a shield, which I'm like, I feel like that gun would go straight through that dude. But you know what? It's fine. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Well,
And then
it's
they
not a documentary, so we're fine.
true, very true, very true. And I love they go up in the elevator and then they get brought back down, right? And then it's revealed that the shaman's there, and apparently he's killed everybody in that bunker except for
Yeah.
these two. And I love, okay, so the final fight, right? So they're fighting the shaman, right? And the shaman is like, I'm all like, I wanted to look at Boy and be like, boy, shaman's correct. You were not ready because he is like this old man with the gross teeth is like kicking ass. Yours,
Okay.
like
Leg, and then
That
took off his flip flop and
he took off his flip flops.
we've all seen The Raid Part
Fine
1
boy was
and
not ready. He should have got
Part
back.
2. This man, Mad Dog, was his name in The Raid.
Mhm.
And this, my God, he is a marvel. He is an absolute marvel. He is the fight choreographer. He is fun to watch, even when you want him to die. Like he has been the bad guy in every movie, and I root for him.
Mhm.
For sure.
But like watching Boy and Mia fight, like the impossible leaps, the I've unfortunately through a sad bar fight, I've been stabbed. And when I saw him put his thumb on the wound,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, first of all, you just expire.
Right on.
You fall down and you die. You do not continue, you do not punch or anything. You cry and whine and you wet yourself and you soil yourself, and that's it. Um, but just seeing the finger twists, the as much fun as the ridiculous spin kicks are, the close countered finger twists, eye pokes, uh, abdominal grabs, groin swats, that's real. Like, and it was so visceral.
Mhm.
And I went and saw this in the theater with my girlfriend, and she's like, "What the fuck are we gonna go see?" I'm like, This is retarded, and I'm down for it because it's so stupid. We got to go see this." I was biting my palm at this fight.
Mhm.
You know the outcome, but it was just so good. It was
Right on.
so good. It's up there with the Raid. It's up there with
Oh,
one of
for
the
sure.
Matrix fights. It's up there with dating myself, Billy and Dalton Roadhouse. Like
Mm.
it was so good. It's just so
Yeah,
damn good.
it was
It's
good.
so good, but again, it
Thank
has
you for
funny moments.
indulging me.
Right on. No,
No,
no, you're
it's
good.
so good, but then it has the funny moments of like, the gnarly toenail in the cut and, and the fingers in the it to me it also has funny in it as well. It's like so good, yet they're also able to put a little, humor in some
Little
of the
spin,
moves as well. Yeah.
little
Yeah.
levity, because if they didn't throw that levity in, it would be nothing but cruel.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did again, I did love how like it was I can't remember, but did Boy not join in the fight until he was about to snap June's neck, June 27th's neck. And then I couldn't remember off the top of my head and I didn't write it down. But I also liked kind of liked when the shaman like bit into Boy's neck. I was like, ew, what are we doing going on here now? What's going on? Don't use your teeth. That's gross.
Visceral.
Yeah,
This is a
and
fight. I'm here to
it is a
kill you.
fight. Which
Yeah.
I did also like how the boy kind of held back because he's all like, even though he was tricked, this is his mentor. Like he's like, oh
Yeah, are
shit,
we
I gotta
doing
fight
this?
I gotta fight my mentor, and I gotta like, also like let my
Well, and
sister
his
fight him.
dad died, so this is the closest to a father figure he's literally ever had.
That's a good point too. Yeah. I just love this last fight sequence. I loved how the shaman started like headbutting June 27, and
Helmet.
her helmet was like going on the fritz and shit and everything, and you saw it from the inside, and I'm also like,
Yeah.
that's gotta fucking hurt because it's like made of metal and shit and everything. I was
Oh,
like,
and then he pulls the big shard of glass out of his forehead and starts cutting them
oh
with
yeah,
Oh, that
right,
was
yeah, that was good.
so good. And then Boy has like the little shard or whatever, and just like I said, it was
Oh, from the
this.
shaman's necklace. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Wrapped
two
around his
there.
neck,
Yeah,
yeah.
he pulled the and did like
He now has a
Wol-
velociraptor
the
hand.
Wolverine kind of thing,
Right.
and he knew that that guy was going to get cut up, and
Right
he
on.
did, but he didn't stop. That's
Right on.
the exact opposite of what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right
would
on.
have fallen over the minute he touched me with his nasty toenail. I would have
Oh,
been dead.
you're dropping me with a paper cut. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah. I'd have been like, can I sit on the elevator? I'm gonna go do cart stuff, guys.
Yeah, card stuff. Yeah.
Cart
Right
stuff.
on. And I did like how they showed some stuff with the post credits, how they
Mhm.
showed that the two were like fighting or whatnot and eating cereal and stuff and
Yep.
everything.
Yeah.
I did like that. I like that they survived and they were like, a brother sister team kind of
And they
thing.
almost reverted back to where their relationship had ended as kids. Like when they were
Right.
separated, they like
We're
were
gonna
acting
go.
like kids and stuff.
We're
So
we're going to where you always want us to go. We're gonna find it. It's you and me.
Right on. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I think we're going to try to wrap it up. But before we do, I'm going to ask you guys two questions. The first question is, overall, what did you think about this movie? Dan, we'll start with you. I'm sorry, Brad, we'll start with you. Sorry, I've been
alcohol's
drinking.
involved.
Sorry,
Oh, so you
Dan is on the same, like, the Screen Invaders. Okay, you know what? I
Now
don't
you know
judge.
what he thinks. You know
I
who
don't.
he would have preferred to have.
well, I will
Hey,
say,
I don't know Dan,
Dan,
so that's not a thing.
I get it.
Dan is a wonderful person who invited me to be part of the Scene Invaders crew. So I am forever in debt to him. So thank you very much. What did I think of this movie? Like I said, it is an old school revenge ninja training sequence,
Mhm.
and then it sprinkled a little PTSD, a really great twist. And my God, when was the last time you saw this kind of level of action movie where the lead character doesn't speak?
Right on.
So
That's a
for
good
me,
point.
this legit was not the best movie I saw this year, but it's absolutely my favorite movie I saw this year.
Right on. Yeah.
So what about you,
Um,
Dan?
yeah. What about you, Dan? What did you think, Dan?
I'm still waiting for Dan to pop up on
Yeah,
the in
yeah.
a
Me
little.
too.
Okay,
Me too.
Betta, what did you think of this
I
movie?
love this movie so much. So much. Like I watched it all by myself and I've already told my husband, I'm like, "Oh, we're still watching this." I've texted my daughter who is always looking for fun movies. I was like, "It's on my Prime account. You got to watch it." I mean, I love it. Anyone who asks me for a movie recommendation, this is the top of my list. I am the
That
same
makes me
as
very happy.
Brad.
That makes me
It
very
may
happy.
not be the best movie I've seen, but it is definitely my favorite so far this year. And I thought Alien Romulus was going to be, but it wasn't because I
Meh.
saw this. So yeah,
Right on.
I feel like that was just like an episode. It wasn't a movie. But
Right on.
that's a different podcast to talk about
For
that one.
sure. Yeah, we'll talk about it sometime. Okay, this was not my favorite movie of the year, but I did love it. I loved this movie. It was so good. I had such a good time watching it. It was the twist was great. I love the actors in it, and everything. And yeah, all that good stuff. Now, my next question is, would you recommend? Brad, would you recommend?
To certain people, I absolutely would, and I have. Uh, it is it is high on the list. I think it's out for rent on Prime and such.
Mhm.
And I said, yeah, man, I will vend you some money if you want to watch it
Yeah, it's like
because
$3 to rent it, and I think it's like $10 to buy it or something.
oh,
Yeah, I
so
bought mine off Apple,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I bought mine on Prime.
iTunes. I bought mine off iTunes.
yeah. So I think I did the same thing with Prime, but I just want people to talk about this because it's ridiculous.
I had never heard of this. I thought this was going to be like an old movie, and then Matt said it was new, and because it's like, and I was like, how have I heard nothing about
Well,
this?
you know what the funny thing is? About 2 years ago, I was sitting at work, chilling out, and it said Bill Skarsgård's movie Boy Kills World gets production. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. And I followed this and followed this and followed this, and it just never happened. And it was in the can, and then it never got the release for whatever reason. I don't know if the writer's strike or
Yeah.
whatever pulled in it, but then it popped up because I put an alert on it because I like Bill Skarsgård.
Yep.
I wish he did, you know, The Crow like this, but whatever.
Right.
We'll talk about that another time. And it said playing in a theater near you, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go see this. And I was like, my girlfriend, I'm like, you want to go see this? She's like, what is it? I'm like, I don't care. Let's go. It's a night out.
Yeah,
You
for
want
sure.
popcorn? She's like, yeah.
I
Like, you
agree.
want to go grab a bite to eat after? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, then indulge me and we'll watch this freaking movie. But so her and I went and seen it, and I was enthralled by it. So I have told everybody about this.
Yeah.
So to say, would I recommend it? I would, I have, and I will.
Right on.
What about you,
Vetta,
Matt?
what?
I
No,
said
Vetta,
I
would
would
you?
totally recommend it. I have
I
recommended it before you even asked, and I
right on.
will.
You did say that. I
But
would
what about you?
recommend it also. It's such a good movie. It's up there with The Raid. It's so good and everything. I love this
And the
movie.
casting, I mean, everything about this movie kind
I
of
would
sneaks up on you. The cast
Mhm,
is great. You don't know that Bill Skarsgård isn't going to speak at all.
for
I
sure.
mean, it's
He
just
does a few guttural
he does
yells
some
and such,
uhs
but
and
Ugh.
some screams, but
and
that's
and they
not
are
talking.
very impactful. Okay, I do have a question for you guys, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
If the voiceover of H. John Benjamin was not him, would it have been as so impactful?
Hmm. I don't I don't know. I don't think it would have been as much fun. I think the voiceover
No.
made it.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm that's
I mean,
actually
there are
the
other voiceovers that can do that monotoned, no inflection, type of thing and leave it to the person, but I don't think it would be the same. Because besides those couple of words that tuned me into Bob's Burgers, and only because I love that cartoon, animation, whatever you want to call it. So I've seen it a ton. If you're not somebody who's familiar with his work and knows what he sounds like, I
but I
just think he
mean,
was perfect. I don't think anyone else could have done it.
if like Peter Cullen, like the voice of Optimus Prime or something like that would have I don't think I think the monotone just uh, sorry, H. John, cluelessness of oh well, here we are, and he might have helped us, you know, such it fits so well
And I
with
don't think you could have used
the
someone
pace.
who is so familiar either. Because I
Right
think that
on.
would have changed it too. If it was somebody that like you recognize their voice immediately, I think that just would have changed it as well.
But we all did recognize H. John Benjamin's
M-
voice, but it fit.
Matt didn't.
I did not know. I
Yeah,
did.
he had no
I don't even
idea.
know what you're talking about right now, so it's fine.
Okay, so you're not the person to ask this question.
It's
Okay.
No,
no,
I
it's
just don't think it would have worked. I mean, because think of all of the movies with like all those big narrator voices.
Yeah.
in
I
a
just I
world.
don't think it would have. I don't
In
think
a
it would have worked.
world
Yeah,
where stuff happens and other
Right on.
stuff
yeah.
happens.
I just think they picked the perfect voiceover for it. I
Right
really
on.
do.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was
Well,
good.
thank you for indulging me.
No, no, of course, anytime, anytime. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. But before we go, Brad, where can we find you at on the interwebs?
Well, if you go to any podcast platform or the YouTubes, check out, just type in Scene Invaders Podcast or Scene Invaders. We have an A and B channel. Um, we, well, we cover everything. If it's on the screen, we talk about it, whether it be
Mhm.
comics, video games, music, anything, TV. God damn, TV is so good right now. It's a damn
Mhm.
shame. So yeah, check out Scene Invaders wherever you go. We're on every social media platform, and we are happy to have you. Like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, all that good stuff. We will
We
leave
will take it
links.
all.
Right on. We will leave links in the description down below so you guys can find
You
Brad.
are an
He's always a good
absolute
time.
sweetheart. Thank you
Yes,
so
there.
much.
Right on. Also, you guys make sure to follow us on Twitter to stay updated and everything. We are at BS Drunk Pod. If you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast needs, please leave us a 5-star review, you guys. It really helps us out monetarily wise, and we really appreciate it and everything. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, like I mentioned before, and you can find us at YouTube BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, you guys, we do have a Patreon if you're interested, where we go over movie series. Like, we've done Bring It On, the Scream series, we've done Ghostbusters, all that good stuff. Go and check it out. There's plenty of different levels to suit whatever interest you're interested in. And that will be in the description down below also. And please, you guys, most importantly, please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Cheers, everybody.